Super Earth has bestowed many gifts unto the free and the righteous, such as the B1 supply pack and the GR8 recoilless rifle. Gifts widely used and rightfully celebrated. However, not all munitions are as celebrated amongst Helldivers. Some time ago, a stratagem was released that caused a rift in the men and women who risked their lives for managed democracy. One that, though loved by few, was often scorned and laughed at by many. On December 2nd, 2025, High Command issued a directive in the form of the Python Commandos War Bond. It brought with it the AX Flam 75 Hot Dog, a weapon of incendiary excess, and the rock-solid armor for those who prefer their footing as certain as their conviction, though there remains among them a hidden gem, one with character, one that deserves to be acknowledged by all those who tread the path of our glorious salvation. The M1000 Maxi Gun. Available in the aforementioned Python Commandos War Bond, the Maxi Gun is found on page 3 and costs 110 medals, which is only made available after spending a hefty 205 medals. Most war bonds say the last page for only the most prestigious of items, and the Maxi Gun is no different. Once called in, the strategy goes on cooldown for 480 seconds, or 8 minutes, meaning you'll need to make the most of it once it's arrived. This stratagem comes belt-fed with its own backpack, making it the 5th gun in the game's lifecycle to feature such a design. Without the ammunition, however, the weapon is inoperable. Unlike its peers, the Maxi Gun does not allow for team reload, meaning the wielder of the weapon is bonded to the pack. This design was later shared by the GL-28 belt-fed grenade launcher, as well as the Flam 80 cremator, both of which are more used than the Maxi Gun itself. Originally issued with 750 rounds, the Maxi Gun screams as it eats through its entire reserves in as little as 30 seconds. Cadets deployed alongside those persuaded by its lead fury often complained about an overconsumption of supply packs by the users. So, on March 17th of 2026, the Ministry of Defense redesigned the munitions cache to carry an additional 250 rounds to mitigate complaints, and better suited its namesake of the M1000 Maxi Gun. Sporting 80 standard damage and 18 durable and penetration 3, this instrument of liberty can make short work of all of democracy's foes. With a cyclic rate of 1500 rounds per minute, the Maxi Gun erases whatever you put in front of it. However, such power demands attacks. 25 degrees of vertical climb ensures that without a firm stance, your righteous fury will quickly meet the clouds rather than the skulls of your enemy. Unlike any other support weapon in our arsenal, the Maxi Gun requires the user to remain stationary during firing, making it a weapon that punishes poor positioning and timing compared to others. While spreading democracy with its 6 barrels, the wielder will be unable to move for an entire second, though they can still switch between standing, crouching, and prone positions as needed. Seen as a limitation by some, the stance on the weapon causes an intrusive thought in some Helldivers. A realization that positioning is not merely a tactic, but a requirement for the safe distribution of liberty, CO1 permits notwithstanding. The Maxi Gun shines the brightest when confronting light and medium armored foes. It tears through flesh, carapace, and metal with a buzz that could make the defoliation tool blush. Against heavier targets, a Helldiver should take great care to aim for joints or exposed areas where its full might can come to bear. The Maxi Gun competes for a niche that similar support weapons fill, such as the light M105, the medium MG43, and the heavy MG206. Distinct to this weapon is its previously touched on rounds per minute of 1,500, the highest of all handheld weapons available to us. Another unique design is a lack of a reload, meaning that Helldivers will never again be caught scurrying away from the enemy when they have ammunition to spare. The weaknesses of the weapon can be mended by armor passives, such as Fortified and Peak Physique, to make the Maxi Gun more manageable, offering reduced recoil when crouching or prone, or greater handling, respectively. Regarded by many, the Maxi Gun is only suited for the turreted front, It whirs with an electrical glee as it mulches through the hardened chitin of waves of bugs, but sadly fails to penetrate corpses or anything above medium armor. The illuminate front is where the maxi gun starts to show signs of struggle, though it chews through flesh mobs and voteless well enough. Its locked position makes it susceptible to crescent overseers as well as harvesters. Make no mistake though, Helldiver, it's still a very capable weapon of war. Automatons are by far the most challenging faction to fight against, due in part to their long-range firepower and the crushing weight of their heavier armored targets. But it's not impossible to use to success. The shield grenade featured in the Siege Breaker's Warbond enables the user to stand in immediate danger and lay down a withering tide of covering fire. Aim true and reap the benefits of 25 rounds a second. Paired with turrets or dedicated anti-tank, the maxi gun shines as an on-demand hose of lead against an enemy faction. Never needing to pause in between firing makes it a fantastic option to keep the enemies out of your line. Whether you're a veteran that's been fighting tyranny since day one, or a fresh face looking to try a new toy, you are doing yourself a disservice by not appreciating this symbol of glory. Take a stand against evil. Take a stand for the M1000 maxi gun. I've been Tarvanith, and until next time, thank you for watching.